100,000 in 1,000 peso bill. Yan ang sinasabi kong angpaw na yan. Yan yung mga parating. That would include mga special requests, katulad nga yung mga construction materials. Pinaparating po yan. Yung sinasabi ko namang, nakita kong 5 million, sabi ni Deputy Director Ragos, doon sa bag, nakita ko bundles of 1,000 bills. Hindi ko sinabi, yung bag, may angpaw doon, nandun yung 5 milyon. Yung lang po ang nililinaw ko, Your Honor. Yung angpaw po, naging kagawian na yan sa loob eh. Mapaliit na angpaw, mapalaking angpaw. Yan ang kalakaran doon na pag may inaabot, either angpaw, naka-plastic or what, yun po madalas.
Okay. Sige po. Assuming na hiwalay po yung bag na black na yan doon sa angpaw na nakukolekta, saan napupunta po yun? Hanggang kay Deputy Director Ragos na lang ba yun o may napupuntahan pang iba? Kasi ang sinasabi niya, dalawang instances lang siya nag-deliver. Kayo magkasama, yung November at December 2012, doon mismo sa bahay di umano ni Secretary de Lima. Ngayon, meron pa palang ibang koleksyon, maliban doon sa parang nakita lang niya na bag doon sa kanyang kama, sa loob ng kanyang opisina. At lumalabas na bukod yung mga angpaw. Saan po napupunta yun? Does it stop there with Deputy Director Ragos o may napupuntahan pa pong iba ito?
Your Honor, pag binigay ko na kay Deputy Ragos yung angpaw, pwede niyo akong sabihan na mag-i-speculate lang ako kung nakarating, kung kanino. Wala po akong personal knowledge doon. Yun lang po.
My good Congressman, can you please wind up your
Yes,
time
I'm winding up, Mr. Chair. That is why earlier, Mr. Chair, I raised a question to the committee about the coverage of the immunity. Because it was explained earlier that that immunity covers statements made by a witness which could not be used against him in any proceeding, in any forum. It appears now that the statement of Mr. Ablen is incriminating not against himself. No, these are not self-incriminatory statements. These are statements that are incriminatory to another witness. That is why I was asking earlier whether or not the immunity covers as well statements made by a witness that are incriminating against another witness. I feel strongly, Mr. Chairman, that the immunity covers only admissions or statements that are self-incriminatory. It does not apply to statements made by another witness that are incriminating against another witness. In that regard, Mr. Chair, as I wind up, may I hear perhaps from the Secretary of Justice kung ano ang tingin niya na tamang interpretasyon dito. Kasi lumalabas ngayon, kasi ayaw naman aminin ni Deputy Director Ragos yung sinasabi ni Mr. Ablen, magagamit ba natin yung salaysay ni Mr. Ablen laban kay Deputy Director Ragos? So
we request the good secretary to respond the question of
yes, Mr. Chair. May I ask for a few days so that we could research on that and ask our State Council to render an authoritative opinion on the matter. Because I don't want to render an opinion offhand. Gusto ko yung medyo talaga may basihan yung opinion natin. So, may I ask that I be allowed, I be given about 5 days within which to submit a written opinion on this point.
Okay. Please do that. But anyway...
yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all for me.
Thank you. But at this juncture, may I ask our Vice Chair on Judicial Reform, who was a former Justice of the Court of Appeals, for his opinion on the matter.
Mr. Chairman, there are two covers that you can have. The constitutional cover against self-incrimination and the witness protection program. which is statutory in character. They are two different matters. In relation to the Witness Protection Program, I would request the DOJ Secretary to look at this. If the witness himself, who is guilty, cannot be prosecuted on the basis of his guilt, which he should have admitted and which could have sent him to jail had it not been for the Witness Protection Program, how could he be incarcerated on the basis of somebody else telling him that he is guilty? So my point is, I think the Witness Protection Program system is a way by which we can encourage witnesses. Please come forward because the state will guarantee you protection from prosecution, from incarceration. Again, if he is guilty and his admission of guilt will bring him to jail, okay, via Witness Protection Program, he is freed from that culpability. I cannot see any reason why somebody else telling him that he is guilty would jeopardize his liberty when he himself is admitting that he is guilty, yet he cannot be prosecuted, he cannot be incarcerated because of the Witness Protection Program. That would be all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that the wisdom of the good former justice of the Court of Appeals. But then, please also, as you committed, submit to us your opinion on the matter, Mr. Secretary of Justice.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would like to thank the ex-Justice Deputy Speaker for the brilliant opinion on this particular point of law.
Okay, so we will now move to our next interpellator. Do we have Congresswoman Ferriol? Wala, no? Congressman Gary Alejano? Wala na rin. Congressman Swan Singh? Wala na rin, ano? Congressman C. Alvarado? Please proceed.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, meron lang po akong ilang katanungan at sa palagay ko naman ito'y ilang Mr. Chairman ito ay mga simpleng tanong ngunit maging kapakipanabang para sa ating laban sa illegal na droga. Una po, Mr. Chairman, ako po ay magbibigay ng tanong kay Colonel Asuncion tungkol sa kung yung maximum security level ng New Bilibid Prison ay naayos ng SAF, kayo po ba ay willing na mag-train ng mga jail guards na kaparehas ng training na ibinibigay sa SAF, pati po ng edukasyon na binibigay sa SAF, upang maging kasing galing din ng SAF members yung ating mga jail guards?
Willing na willing po, but hindi pa ho na-i-implement yung modernization law ng Bucor na nalagdaan ho ng 2013. Kanya po, kasi pagka nag-train ho pagka pinaganda ho natin yung quality ng personnel natin, hindi ho, kailangan ho nating mag-recruit ng bago para ma-dilute naman yung kalagayan ngayon, yung present situation ngayon. And kasama na ho yan dyan sa modernization law ng Bucor, yung training and recruitment po.
Mr. Chairman, kung tayo po pala ay meron ng batas para ma-modernize yung mga kawani ng jail management, siguro po mainam na dapat makipaglaban tayo for the implementation of this very good law At kami po ay naniniwala na sana naman wag mawalan ng trabaho yung ibang mga nagbabantay dyan ngayon. Ngunit kung nakita natin na effective pala na gamot sa ating problema yung mga SAF, iyan rin ang magiging solusyon natin. Hindi na natin kailangan maghanap pa ng ibang mga bagay. Kung SAF ang kailangan, gumawa tayo ng isang grupo na katulad rin ng SAF. Ngunit magmumula naman sa Bureau of Jail Management. Mr. Chairman, ang isa ko pong susunod na katanungan ay i-address ko po sana sa ating minamahal na Secretary ng DOJ. Sir, sino po ang salaysay po ni Mr. Rodolfo Magleo, kanyang sinabi na nung kapanahunan ng pangangasiwa ni DOJ Secretary Leila de Lima, ang maximum security compound ng New Bilibid Prisons ay kinilala bilang Little Las Vegas dahil sa talamak na paglipana ng droga, shabu, marijuana, ecstasy pills, sugal, online cockfighting, dice, cards, caracruz at billiards, concert ng mga kilalang singers at celebrities katulad ng Mocha Girls, Rufa May Quinto, Ethel Buba at iba pa, at prostitusyon na tinatawag na tilapia. Halos 80% ng mga inmate ay mayroong cellphones at gadgets. Ang tanong ko po, Mr. Secretary, ay sino po ba ang magiging accountable o sino ba ang suwable sa pagkakataong ito ng pagkakaroon natin ng malaking problema nung kapanahon ng nabanggit?
Before the good secretary will answer, Kong, after that answer, will you please wind up because your time is over.
Iyan na po yung last question.
Oh, thank you.
Sir,
Go ahead, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Chair, ang palagay ko po ito yung sinasabi dito ni Mr. Major Rodolfo Magleo, ito'y talagang bunga ng napakatagal na panahong pagpapabaya. Hindi lamang nagsimula nung nakaraang administrasyon 6 years ago, but even before that. Pero ang talagang naging talamakin to at na marami kong nakausap dito na naging mahigit ng 3 doble ang paglaganap, ang pagkatalamak ng illegal na droga sa Bilibid nitong the last 6 years.
maraming salamat po, Mr. Secretary. At Mr. Chairman, nagpapasalamat po ang representasyong ito kasama ang unang distrito ng Bulacan sa pagbibigay ng pagkakataon na makapagbigay po kami ng ilang katanungan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, my distinguished colleague. This time, the chair will recognize his distinguished seatmate from the District of Quezon City, the Honorable famous Bingbong Crisologo.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Nakagulat naman yung mga revelations sa New Bilibid Prison. Alam nyo, graduate rin po ako dyan ng 8 taon eh. No? Dati, makapasok lang kami ng television eh, VIP treatment na kami doon. Malaking bagay na sa amin, no? Makapasok lang kami ng television at saka kutsyon. Dahil bawal hong kutsyon noon. Ngayon, ibang-iba na pala. Anyway, first I'd like to congratulate ang ating Secretary of Justice for having these big accomplishments. This is really big, no? But I watched you on television yesterday morning. Was it, Sir Secretary?
Opo.
You were interviewed and you had a statement there where you said that during the hearing, we would be expecting something which I've been looking at it, but hindi pa ho lumalabas. Ang statement niyo po ay this could go even higher than the Secretary of Justice. So may I know what you meant by it, Mr. Secretary?
Meron pa po kaming mga talagang binibuild up pa kasi ang totoo niyan, itong pinipresenta namin sa inyo ay bago-bago lamang po kaming nag-iipon ng mga ebidensya. Pero sa pangangalap namin, may nagsasabi na yung nakita ninyo yung mga account na talagang pinaglagyan yan, ay baka doon nyo makita ang relasyon itong mga bank account na ito doon sa mas mataas pa sa Department of Justice officials.
So when you say, Sir Secretary, that mas mataas pa kaysa sa former Secretary of Justice, wala na akong maisip na mas mataas eh. Kung hindi congressman, senador, or vice president, or presidente.
O yung pong mga matataas ding mga cabinet members.
Oo, yung cabinet members. So, in other words, kung tataas pa sa mga cabinet members, may I know that in this business of drugs proliferating in the NBP, did any political party benefited from it?
Siguro po indirectly. Because if a candidate benefited from these illegal drug monies, then indirectly, the political party to which that particular candidate belonged ay nag-benefit din po.
Meron tayong, you are working on some evidence about that already.
Opo, because we know that no less than 100 millions ang mai-contribute itong mga drug lords na ito sa kandidatura ng isang kandidato. Alalahanin po ninyo na itong perang ito, ito lamang yung pera nung nina Colamco, nina Peter ko, pero yung pong isang kay JB Sebastian na naiwan ng 8 buwan ng walang oposisyon, hindi po natin makuha yan kung saan diniposto yan, kung magkano kinita niyan. Yan po yung daan-daang milyon na sinasabi ko. At yan po ang tinitingnan namin. Nagkaroon na po kami ng query sa ating AMLA at hindi ko lamang po alam kung natumbok na namin. Pero meron pa po kaming tinutumbok na mga accounts sapagkat doon po sa mga cellphones na na-confiscate natin ay pina-forensic examination natin po at nakikita namin doon. Baka may makita tayo doon. Meron na po tayong nakita doon mga account numbers.
Well, we know very well, Sir Secretary, that this investigation now is just an investigation in aid of legislation. Not really to prosecute anyone, but so that we can put, this committee can recommend legislative measures in order to strengthen and see to it that it will not happen again at the National Bureau of Penitentiary. Now, my question, Mr. Secretary, is when, siyempre, nagtatanong ho mga publiko rin, tulad ng mga kadistrito ko, bakit doon kung talaga may kasalanan, bakit hindi demanda? So, when will the committee expect that you will be moving towards the criminal aspect of this case?
Actually po, kung talagang probable cause lang hinahanap natin, meron na po eh. Dito sa mga naipon nilang mga testigo, actually dito po, 4 pa lang na ipipresenta natin. Pero talagang dumadami ang gustong makiisa. Kagabi lamang po, 2 na namang high-profile inmate ang gumawa ng statement. At isa dito yung Jojo Baligad na sana po ay isyuhan natin ng subpina. O kaya bigyan din natin ng karampatang immunity. Pipilitin po namin dalhin siya bukas at siguro yung 2 hindi natuloy ngayon o hindi na natapos ngayon, plus yung balubad na yun, maka sufficient na po yung ating testimonial evidence.
So sa ngayon, as my question, Mr. Secretary, was this, so sa ngayon, you have already evidence?
Meron na po at actually...
So when will the committee expect you to file the criminal aspect of this case?
Well, katulad po ng sinabi ko, ang gusto nating i-file ay yung talagang airtight. hindi lamang yung basta makapag-file porque may probable cause na. Ang probable cause po ay yung quantum of evidence na
Yes.
yung bang bagay lamang sa preliminary investigation. Ang gusto natin ay yung talagang papasa, yung talagang beyond proof beyond reasonable doubt.
So,
At yan po ay magiging proof of beyond reasonable doubt kung yung ating mga testimonial evidence ay sasuportahan ng mga documentary evidence katulad ng mga bank accounts.
Thank you very much. May I address this question to Mr. Colanco?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Ano yung sinasabi nilang, alam mo, nung panahon namin, wala ito eh. Ano yung sinasabi ng short time sa New Bilibid prisons? Meron bang ganon?
Short time po sa tilapia po ba, Your Honor?
Anong tilapia?
Babae, model, tilapia ang tawag doon po. Meron din po doon sa loob.
So ano yun, short time na yun?
Ano po, papasok siya mga 2 to 3 hours labas na siya po. Yan ang short time po. May tinatawag din po kami ng stay-in. Overnight, 24 hours.
Ganon.
Meron po akong kubol doon, may shower, aircon, ang kama. Parang Sheraton Hotel po yun.
Ikaw meron ka noon?
Meron ako, mas malaki pa sa akin sa buong Pilipinas. Ako ang pinakamagandang bahay, opisina, kwarto, studio.
Ano ginagamit mo? Pinapagamit mo?
Hindi. Yung studio ko po, yan po doon po ako nag-rehearsal. Doon po ako na-recording artist po. Na-award po ako ng PMPC. 2014, katay ko po si, Richard Yap po.
So, sabi mo kanina, Mr. Cotanco, hindi ka drug lord. Tama ba o yun?
Opo, mula pa kabata.
Basta chairman ka lang.
Opo, chairman po ako talaga.
Pero narinig ko rin kanina na sinasabi mo, binuutusan ka nila Sebastian na hindi ATM ang ginagamit niyo kung hindi pera, para pinapasok na lang sa loob ng Bilibid yung mga sales, yung mga proceeds, drugs. Tama ba yun?
Ang sabi ko po, sila nag-utos para tulungan daw po si Secretary de Lima sa 2016 election. Ako hindi naman ako marunong magtulak ng droga. So yung mga membro ko po, kinausap ko sila na kayo ang magdi-dispose kasi para matulungan po natin si Secretary de Lima.
So, kinausap mo?
If you don't mind, can you please wind up? Your time is over and it's already 8 o'clock.
Yes,
and
thank
we've been
you.
here since
So,
9 o'clock.
kinausap mo na magdi-dispose sila. So, you're a drug lord also.
Ay, hindi po. Kasi sila ang nagdi-dispose. Ako po bilang isang chairman at sumusunod din sila sa akin. At sumusunod din po ako kay Sir Jonel dahil po kay Secretary de Lima po. Pag hindi po ako sumusunod po, ako po itatapon din nila.
My final question will be addressed to the Secretary and at the same time also to the head of the Bureau of Prisons. So, because this is an investigation of what is happening in the NPP, National Bureau of Prisons, what is the final solution? Do you have any proposal, any plan that you could present to this committee so that we can see what can really be done about this so that talaga mawawala na yung drug cartel or drug center doon sa New Bilibid Prison, no?
Ang talaga pong dapat nating pondohan ay yung mga tao na magmamanam ng prison. Gawa po ng protected sila ng Civil Service Commission or may term sila na protected by law, kaya hindi po natin basta maalis itong mga prison guards na alam natin na tainted. I know very much insufficient yung retraining namin at para i-inculcate sa kanila na dapat sila ay maging kalimutan nila yung mga baluktot nilang ways, but of course alam natin na hindi ganun lamang nagbabago ang tao. Kaya't kung bibigyan siguro natin ng mga
mas mataas na sweldo.
Mas mataas na sweldo o kaya parang mag-retire na sila ng mas bata, mapalitan lamang sila
Well,
Yun ang maganda.
Sa tingin ko, kung bigyan natin ng mas mataas na sweldo sila, tapos with their privileges doon, I know, kasi doon pa galing, they are given their own houses. Kasi ang laki ang reservation na yan eh. The guards are given their own houses there. Plus, kung tataasan ng sweldo, siguro they could be more efficient. No? That would be my proposal. But anyway, Mr. Chairman, in ending, since the name of J.B. Sebastian has always been mentioned, and even though he is not yet cooperating, can we not perhaps subpoena him and ask him here so that for all we know, baka mamaya,
Yes, Kong, there was already a motion duly approved by the chair, valid, that subpoena ad testificandum shall be issued against GB.
And also, so that we could see the root and the cause of all of these things, could we not subpoena the NBP officials who were in charge at the time since thing happened, since 2010 up to 2015? Di ba natin yun, Mr. Chairman? Can we not subpoena those officials who were sitting down during 2010?
Covered by the report of DOJ. We have requested DOJ to already... we have already requested DOJ. Anyway, they are all under DOJ.
No more. There some are retired already. We could
Anyway,
subpoena
to the
them.
extent that it will become necessary, pero ang sinasabi ni Secretary is that with about 3 more, we would have established by way of testimonial evidence already what we need for purposes of
Coming up with the necessary.
the report with the findings and the recommendations coming from this committee. So,
Kasi Mr. Chairman, kung madadala natin sila dito and we will ask them questions, for all we know, they might reveal everything.
we will cross the bridge when we get there. Hindi pa nga natin kilala to. But at the same time, we have already requested DOJ to already complete its investigation. And if we are already established, we have already established the facts needed to conclude this legislative inquiry, then we may just be wasting the precious time of this committee and of Congress and even of the various heads of and all representatives of this agency.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, we'll look into that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much, Justice Secretary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Before I'll give the Vice Chairman for Judicial Reforms, Vice Chairman Veloso, I'd like to request the representative of those other organizations which we have invited who would like to share something on what we have discussed today. Probably we will start with the representative of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Sir, you're the one representing the IBP. Please identify yourself and you can share something in relation to our committee hearing today insofar as your organization is concerned.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm representing the National President of the IBP who is not available today. But I was just instructed to observe the proceedings and we will submit a formal comment to the committee when necessary.
For the record, please identify yourself.
I'm
Panero.
Attorney Emmanuel Buenaventura, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much, Panyero. From the VECC, the President of the VECC, please identify yourself and share something about your observation of today's hearing.
Okay, Arsenio Evangelista, spokesman for Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption. For today's hearing, nakita po natin yung culture of corruption, impunity dito sa New Bilibid Prison, kung saan nakita natin yung failure ng isang pillar of criminal justice, yung correction, na talagang punong-puno, no? Nakakabigla, nakaka-frustrate, lalo na para sa aming mga biktima ng mga heinous crimes. At nakakalungkot. So siguro dapat ma-address itong ano, no, it's really failing yung 5 criminal of justice, starting from law enforcement, prosecution, and lalong-lalo na, no, yung community and yung Bureau of Correction. Kaya siguro after this, gagawa rin kami ng position paper to be submitted sa committee kung ano ma-share namin. Yun lang po.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Evangelista. We will appreciate very much receiving that position paper. Is Mr. Benjamin Reyes of the Dangerous Drug Board still around? Okay. Wala na. So this time we will hear the Vice Chairman for Judicial Reforms of the Committee on Justice, the Honorable Congressman Veloso. Sir?
Okay. A few reminders lang po. Maganda yung video kanina, but it cannot stand as evidence unless the SAF member who played that video can testify on that under Rule 130, Section 32. And also, yung Section 36 rather, yung affidavits po natin para mapabilis ito. Can we suggest, Mr. Secretary, that we, since we have been furnished with copies of the affidavits, can we treat them as memorandum individually, akin to present recollection revived, yung doctrine of present recollection revived na pinag-aralan natin, which now is revival of present memory, so that babasahin na lang nila, siguro mag-overview si Secretary who brought all of them here, and then we will proceed to the witnesses, babasahin nila, then shoot na, tuloy na yung mga interpellation, which would really test the credibility of the various witnesses. In that way, hindi tayo aabutin ng alas 8 at alam ko nakakahiya nga, gutom na kayo, hindi pa kayo napakain ng Kongreso. Hindi kami nakapaghanda because we thought that hanggang 4 o'clock lang ito, makakapag-attend pa kami ng session. But if that is feasible, Mr. Secretary, pwede ba yun? Yung affidavits to be treated as memorandum, and then the witnesses will be just testifying on the basis of those memoranda?
Mr. Chair, actually, ganun po ang plano namin until we receive a notice from the committee secretary na kung maaari daw gawin kong question and answer ang pagtatanong sa testigo. So sabi ko, since I did not prepare any of these affidavits, so what I did is just got these affidavits, woke up very early this morning, and prepare for this question and answer. But sanay naman po tayo doon. Pero talaga pong mapapabilis tayo pag ganun. I agree with that. So, bibigyan ko lang ng parang gist yung ng kanilang testimony, and then we are going to distribute copies of this affidavit to all the members, and then pasusumpay natin sila at bibigyan natin sila ng kanilang immunity.
At least walang kakapag-object doon because that's expressly provided by Section 16, Rule 132 of the Rules of Court. And then yung meals, kung may mga, well, I have 8 more affidavits, but are we ending up with all these 8 witnesses that will be interpolating tomorrow?
Mr. Chair, tama po yun, 8. But kagabi po, meron naman 2 gumawa ng affidavit sa Bucor, at maganda raw yung isa doon, yung kay Mr. Jojo Baligad. At yun nga po ang ginagawa namin ng paraan na sana ay madala namin bukas dito. Because that witness will not be coming from the AAP Custodial Center but from the NBP. Malayo-layo at saka mabuti lang nandito si OIC Rolly Asuncion. At yun nga po pala ang isa sa mga talagang nakakapilay sa Bucor. Si Director Rolly Asuncion lamang po was appointed as Deputy Director. Sapagkat ang akala namin i-appoint noon ay si General Balutan, kaya't in the meantime that General Balutan has not assumed office, dinesignate ko po muna siya as Bucor OIC Chief. Pero si kinuha po ng PCSO ni Presidente para ilagay sa PCSO si General Balutan. Kaya't ngayon, nagsosolong presidential appointee pa rin po si Director General Rolly Asuncion. At sana magkaroon na ng two more, yung number one, yung talagang director, and another deputy. Kaya po't wala pong katulong si General Asuncion sa Bucor ngayon. So hopefully, si General Asuncion will be able to bring Mr. Jojo Baligad dito tomorrow at 9:30 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so...
Yeah, thank you very much, Kong. Before we'll wind up, may we hear from the representative of our PNP Chief, General De La Rosa, in the person of General. Please identify yourself, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm Police Chief Superintendent Augusto Marquez Jr. I'm the Director for Investigation and Detective Management of the PNP. Pinapaabot po ni General De La Rosa kasi nandun po siya sa Colombia. He wanted to be here but he is sitting down with the Colombian police purposely to look for solutions to our problem on drugs. Kanina po na-mention ni Congressman Paul Batawil yung demand reduction, kaya lang naputol because wala na siyang time. We suggest, sir, that we discuss this more in the future hearings because ito po yung gaps and then problems ng PNP, especially sa Tokhang. Kasi after the Tokhang, nag-surrender yung more than 750,000 people. Nakuha natin yung documentation nila, yung biometrics, yung pictures, but unfortunately, yung dapat, let's say, i-rehab, wala po tayong mga rehabilitation center. So I think this is one topic that magandang i-discuss, sir, in the future hearings. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, General. That can be best addressed by the Dangerous Drugs Committee, and we will repair that concern. Now, as the chairman of the subcommittee on correctional reforms, in my opening remarks when we started, I said that we are conducting this investigation in our desire to correct this deplorable aberration of the national believed prison being at the mercy of individuals or groups who defy the law with impunity. So we are doing this in our hope that those responsible for the mess we are in today are held accountable and put to justice. With what we gathered today, then we have enough inputs, and probably in our hearing tomorrow, we can come up with the necessary legislation that will support the strong advocacy of the President in addressing these problems on illegal drugs. In behalf, therefore, of the committee, our energetic and indefatigable Chairman, Congressman Omali, we would like to thank the Honorable Secretary of the Department of Justice, together with his Undersecretary, ASIC, the official family of the Department of Justice, together with the witnesses that you have just presented today, the other resource speakers, the PDEA, represented by Director Wilkins Villanueva, the other resource speakers, guests, and of course our distinguished colleagues in the Committee on Justice and in the 17th Congress. Thank you very much for staying at this time, and we look forward tomorrow that we can complete the task. The table is now open for any motion.
Mr. Chairman, considering that we have been here since 9 o'clock in the morning, I move that we suspend today's session of this committee until tomorrow morning, 9:30 at Makalintal Hall and Aquino Hall at the South Wing Annex. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hearing suspended.
At yan po ang ating live coverage sa ginanap na pagdinig ng House Committee on Justice tungkol sa kalakaran ng illegal na droga sa National Bilibid Prison.